All right, guys, welcome to another KevCAM night class tonight. Tonight we'll be covering HSM pencil milling and parallel pencil milling. And tonight I have Mr. Tim Micah helping out with answer any questions or concerns that come up, or help me through the night class tonight.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And so for those of you guys that are new to the night classes, everybody is in mute only right now. And with that being said, what you guys can do is, if you guys do have questions, which I definitely said, ask as many questions as you can, there is a questions spot where you can ask those questions, and just go ahead and type them in there, and we'll get you guys answered right away, or Tim will address it just by typing over to you in response. Now, last week I said for those of you guys that are, recurring, you guys want to come to every night class, and you guys don't have to sign up. For some reason, you guys have made it into the staff section, so I'm not sure how that worked, but for Jeff and George, looks like you guys somehow made it into the staff area, but we'll get that figured out, just a little wrinkle along the way here. But yeah, with that being said, for those of you guys, like I said, that are new, if you guys do have suggestions or ideas that you guys would like for the night class, definitely send those over to me in email. And let me copy and paste my email in for you guys so you guys all have that. All right, so there's my email address right there. Send those ideas over to you, and we'll send you a free hat and t-shirt. I know there's a couple of you guys that are still waiting on yours, and they're going to be delivered real shortly. So, and for those of you guys that would like to rewatch the videos or see any of the night class videos that we've done prior, I have created a YouTube channel that you guys can come check out. It's labeled as SolidCAM University, and if you guys want, you guys can come up here and just type in KevCAM or SolidCAM University, and it should pull up the channel. And in here, we have all the night classes that we've done in the past, going on, I think we're going on almost a year now.
Kevin, are you broadcasting yet?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I forgot.
That might help.
I forgot.
There you go.
Sorry about that, guys. So what I'm showing you guys here is all the night class videos that we've done in the past, and there are some videos in here with tips and tricks inside SolidCAM too, so you guys can check it out. And like I said in the past, we're trying to add 3 videos a week, quick little videos, and the hour-long night class ones also. So, and like I said, guys, if you guys have suggestions for quick little ideas in here, send them over to us. I know we've gotten a lot of suggestions, and have putting those up on here. So definitely, the sky's the limit for you guys. So like I said, if there's something that you guys want to see, let us know right away, and we will add that in there. So, and like I said, with these classes and this YouTube channel, it's solely for you guys as a learning purpose. So if there's something that we can add in there, let us know right away. And then, like I said, we'll send you a free hat and t-shirt. But I'll put the link for that video also in the chat for you guys here. There you guys go. All right. So tonight will be a little bit of a shorter class, just because there's not too much to talk about with pencil milling, but we'll go over a couple parts here, show you the difference, where it kind of really works well. Let me get over to our part here. And pencil milling it's almost along the same lines as rest machining. It's going to go in and find where there's leftover material in there with that smaller tool, and it's going to come take it out. Now, the two differences tonight we're going to be covering with the pencil milling and the parallel pencil milling is, with pencil milling, you're just going to get a single line tool path going around this part, or around the areas that weren't cleaned up. And I'll kind of show you guys the difference. Now, the nice thing that they've also done is they've done the parallel pencil milling. And what that does is it will add in additional steps. It's basically adding, so we have our single line going all the way around here with our pencil milling, but then what it does, it kind of takes into the 3D constant step over, and you can also extend those passes out by however many you specify. So, you guys can say, let's say I want 5 steps, and it's going to go 5 steps inwards, 5 steps upwards on the amount that you specify. So blending gets to be real nice on some of those surfaces for you. So like I said, with that pencil milling, if you're just doing a single line, you might have a little bit of a mark right there. But if you guys use the parallel pencil milling, you guys will eliminate that mark. So, and just to make sure, is everybody able to see my screen now? I apologize for not hitting that play button.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, perfect.
We're good.
Excellent. Okay, so is anybody getting nailed with the storm right now? The snowstorm out east? Heard it was quite the storm that's been going through there, but yes. Okay. So this one right here, we do have some leftover material. Basically, machined this part out here, roughed it out using 3DI machining, came back with a smaller tool, did some rest machining in there, did some HSM, 3D constant step over, did a little bit more roughing with a smaller tool in there. And basically, we're kind of at the point right now where we just need to finish off the small fillet areas. And what I'm talking about is, I know you guys haven't seen the verification of my last operation here, but a lot of these smaller little radiuses in here that still have, holy cow, Richard said he's got 31 inches. Wow. Sorry. So we just have a little bit of material still left in here, a little bit up in here, and down in here. So we just need to come and clean that up. So we'll come in here, use our 3D HSM, and we will do, let's just do parallel pencil milling first, and I can kind of show you guys the difference of what's going on here. So go ahead and grab a tool here, and I'm going to grab a little 1/8 inch ball end mill, and that way I know it. My end mill prior to that was let me just kind of slide this over here. Let's see, it was a 1/4 inch. So now we're going to go down a little bit smaller size here. Constraint boundaries, you guys can pretty much leave this as automatic because it's basically just going to look at the entire part and find out where there's additional material for that pencil mill pass to go through. Now, here's the pencil mill pass. Now, the big thing here is, the bitangency angle, how much angle of the, kind of in the picture right here, what angle do you guys want to use for that end mill? So we can actually increase that to like 40 thou in order to get more pencil milling passes, or we can go to a smaller number and we'll get less. I'll kind of show on the next part the difference with that bitangency angle and kind of how that works. But for right now, we'll just go ahead and do our parallel passes. I'm going to do a step over of 10 thou here, and that's going to be my horizontal step over and vertical. So like I was saying before, last week we talked about the 3D constant step over, basically the same long lines right here. Now, one thing that they added in here now is, how many passes do you want to take? Now, this isn't a total number of passes you want to take. This is additional to, so you're going to have your center line doing the pencil. Then you're going to have 5 passes going in the vertical and 5 passes going in the horizontal. And I'll show that to you real quick here. We just do save and calculate. And that way, like I was saying, with the parallel pencil mill, you really eliminate any little, if you're just doing a single line pass in there, any material that might have been just a little bit left over, getting it to blend real nice in there. So if I turn on our toolpath here, so you can see, came in here and just kind of cleaning up all those corners that were left over. Now, if I come in here, I'll zoom in, you'll see that we have more than 5. And I think we should have 11. Let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. So we have one single line pass for a pencil mill, and like I was saying, basically kind of doing 5 for the flat area and 5 for the more vertical area. And like I said, it's taken into account that, like it's basically a hybrid of 3D constant step over with pencil milling is basically kind of what the parallel pencil milling is. So if you guys want to think of it that way, it might be a little bit easier. Now, along with all our HSM ones that we've been going through, we have our edit passes where we can add material in there. You can do your actual offset. Same thing with length. You can do it the one way. We can do bi-directional. The only thing with the pencil milling, if we go under passes here, now if you guys remember, we were doing a couple weeks ago, we were doing the rest machining. And like I said, pencil milling is very similar to the rest machining, but the only thing that we're missing right here is the option on how we want to do those passes. So you'll see we kind of come in there, if I kind of zoom in on a corner right here, it does its straight line, and then just kind of works its way out from there. That is the only way of doing it, and like I said, it's kind of the 3D constant step over with the pencil mill, so we don't have the option like we did with rest to come in there and pick our different ways that our different tool path styles for there. So, but I guess with that being said, what we can do is let's go ahead and simulate this. And we'll update our stock here. Come on. And what it's doing is it's basically updating all the tool path that was done over here for our solid verification. Come on, come on. Unfortunately, with these 3D parts, there is so much toolpath in there, and I probably forgot to set my tolerance a little bit larger, so it's going to be a real fine facet tolerance on this particular part here.
A little longer calculate time there, it looks like.
Yeah, it's updating the stock from the other HSM. I forgot to do that.
Any other recommendations as far as improving calculation times there, Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Great point there, Tim. For those of you guys that do a lot of 3D molds, your simulation time and calculation time, you will notice does take just a little bit longer depending on the size of things. For those of you guys, let me just pull up a file that I have here. And, oops. And go for, just find it here. There's a couple different settings what we can do to change. Just got to find it here in my little cheat sheet stuff. Okay, so right here, what you guys can do in your SolidCAM settings is if you guys are doing a lot of 3D molds and you're getting longer calculation times and simulation times, what you guys can do is come into your SolidCAM settings, go to your updated stock, and instead of doing regular, do special for HSR HSM. Now that's going to make things much faster. Unfortunately, I don't have that checked right now. And then what you guys can also do is under your toolpath simulation is you can pick the option don't load, and that's going to basically it won't update all the prior toolpath. It's just going to show you the current toolpath. And then also, if you guys want to do it just for a single part right here, what you can do is just go to your local settings and change that exact same setting. So let's say you guys on a day-to-day basis, you guys aren't doing a lot of molds, but then there's that one time that you guys do come across it, you guys can come right in here into your updated stock and then like I said, you guys can switch to your fixed steps to something other than, like right now I have it set to 1, and that's why we're getting a little bit longer calculation time too. And then also the facet tolerance. Default I think is 4, but for some reason I have mine set very tight tolerance, and that's why we're just getting a little bit longer of calculation times. But if any of you guys want this information, I have it all zipped up and ready. So if you guys are running into that and you guys just need this as a little quick refresher or cheat sheet, let me know and I can email this off to you. Okay, so now we have everything all loaded up here. Go and play it through, and like I said, it's going to be doing the parallel passes. So basically, kind of doing the 3D constant step over, slowly working its way in. It's going to do the flatter areas, working its way into the radius, and then it's going to start from the horizontal and work its way down. And just working on just those single line passes. Now what I'll do once this is done here is I'll kind of show you the difference of what the standard pencil mill is going to kind of do for you guys. I'll go ahead and exit out of here. So you can kind of see all our passes right here. Actually what I'll do is I'll just make a copy of what we have here. And now we'll just switch it over to standard pencil milling. And we'll kind of leave everything the same. Do save and calculate. And now, if I uncheck this one, so you guys can definitely see the difference. We're just doing a single line toolpath with the standard pencil milling, and when we're doing the parallel pencil milling or the 3D constant step over with parallel pencil milling, we're adding those additional passes in there for, like I was saying before, a little bit smoother of a blend line for you guys. So any questions on this particular part right here, guys? Okay. All right, so let's move on to another part here. Yeah, close this one down. Well, Ronnie, you asked to. Ronnie, I'll show you what the lead-in looks like. Said he couldn't type fast enough. Okay, so going to be doing the same thing here. You know, doing our pencil milling. I had a couple requests asking to do some parts in metric, so this part is actually all done in metric for you guys. So what we'll start off with is just standard pencil milling first, and then Ronnie, make sure I'll address that that lead-in for you here. And we'll go to our pencil milling here. And for this one, I'm going to actually grab a lollipop cutter, a little 6mm lollipop cutter, just to kind of get in those tighter areas. Constraint boundaries, I'm just going to leave those as automatic now. And we go to our passes, and I'm going to actually leave my bag tangency angle at 20, and I'm going to show you the difference between what, you know, smaller tangent angle versus a larger. Actually, we'll start off with the large one. And go to our link. Everything looks good. Save and calculate real quick. Now, I am leaving everything at kind of default values for the lead in and lead off here. So, you know, Ronnie, to answer your question, we're kind of doing a little bit of a tangent kind of arc going in, tangent arc kind of going in right here. That's all based off of, you know, what radius you have for your vertical leads or your horizontal leads. Like I said, these are all just kind of default values right now, but if you guys want to make that angle or that line segment just a little bit smaller, definitely come in here. We can change, you know, maybe we want to change our clearance a little bit. But more in anything here is where, you know, all our numbers are coming for our, basically our green lines here, our lead in and lead offs. You do have the mill up, down, and the refurbishment also, but the main part is going to be all right here. I understand. I was thinking about something else. What were you thinking, Ronnie? And while he's typing that one, so right now we have our bitangency angle set high. You know, I want to use more of that radius in there of that cutter. Well, since we're using that lollipop cutter, now I'm going to change this down to 20 degrees at what it was by default here, and I should only add one piece, and it's actually going to be this piece right here. This little loop that will be added in there. And that's because we've got a real small radius in there. So now we're coming in here and grabbing this radius just because we're telling it to use a smaller portion of the the smaller portion of that radii of that that lollipop cutter. So and hopefully that kind of makes sense for you guys. So if you guys want to cut just a little bit more with your pencil milling, you guys can decrease that number and it will actually pick up more, or what you can do is, like I said, we can increase that, and you know, maybe I don't need to touch the spot right here, and I can increase that by tangency angle, and then it will skip over it.
Sounds like Ronnie's good on that.
Okay, perfect. So, okay, so what we'll do here is now we can just do a save and copy, and then we'll switch this over to a parallel pencil milling. And we'll use our same cutter, same boundaries, everything here, but now I'm going to do a 0.25 millimeter step over, and I'm going to leave my steps at 5 steps right here. Save and calculate.
And Kevin, while that's calculating, I see a couple questions over on the chat side of things, not on the question side of things. Jeff was asking about approaching from the outside and working inward. And it was about close to 10 minutes ago, though.
Oh, okay. So, I'm guessing that's for the pencil milling here. So
Jeff says he thinks you got it. So.
Okay. Oh, okay, perfect. So here is our parallel pencil milling. So like I said, it's kind of coming in here and, you know, blending those lines a little bit nicer. You're going to have a nicer finish in there if you guys are just coming in there with a, you know, just to do a pencil mill, just do a couple additional passes in there. And like I said, you guys can set that number as much as you want. We can set this at 50, and, you know, we're going to have lines coming all the way down here. Kind of doing that 3D constant step over strategy right there. So, yeah, honestly, I don't use the pencil milling as often as the parallel pencil milling, just because when it's going to eliminate some of that sanding time for you guys on those molds, or just going back in and just kind of cleaning up everything and getting a nice blend line in there. If you guys want, what we can do is we'll just suppress this one real quick and do a solid verify. And Tim, you forgot to remind me to change those settings over again.
And George did comment that go ahead and change those settings before you forget.
Oh, I apologize for this, guys, but and as we start getting into some of these more complex molds, we're going to see a little bit more of a calculation, or the updating stock time here. But I'm trying to find parts for you guys that we can go through really fast, and everything is going to calculate, so we're not sitting waiting for a updated stock here. But unfortunately, these molds and me forgetting that checkbox. I'll just give it a second here. But let's see, I'm trying to see if we got a couple new guys in here. While this is calculating, I know this is a little bit of repeat for you guys, but Ronnie, this is one that I want to see you hop on too, and same thing with Jeff, our SolidCAM certification. Guys, this test is free for you guys, as long as you guys are up on your maintenance here. Come in here, test your skills, and use it as bragging rights. Sharpen up that resume a little bit here, and come check out our test. The CSCA test is a very easy test, very simple part. Just using the basics of face mill, profile, drilling, tapping, and that's it. So real easy. You get an hour long to take the test. And we have all the training videos here of recommendations and stuff like that. And then the professional tests, we actually get into a little bit more of the advanced stuff. The segment 1 test is basically going to cover eye machining with a shape tool. Segment 2 is some of our HSM that we've been talking about. Pretty simple parts though. And then segment 3 is some 4-axis. And like I said, these are all, if you guys are familiar, it's going to take a little bit of a crunch time to get through it, but you guys get a nice certificate, and then your names will be posted up on our website as certified users, and also linked if you guys have a LinkedIn account. So.
Hey Kevin, a couple questions are. Jeff was asking, as far as the cost, it's the first test is free, is that right?
Yeah, so for every seat that you guys have for your company, so Jeff, if you guys have 2 seats at your company, you guys get 2 free tests. If you guys have 1 seat, you get 1 free test, and then each additional test, then you have to pay for. But how it's broken up here is the professional test, even though it's a 3-part test, it's all one. So for the professional test, you can use up that free one, or if you want to use up that free one for the associate's test. And then, like I said, if you guys, depending on how many seats you guys have, it depends on how many free tests you get. So if you guys have 1 seat, you get 1 free test, 2 seats, 2 free tests. So, and it's just 1 free for, I haven't really thought about that. That's a good point there, George. George asked, is it 1 free for every subscription for every year, or do you get a new one every year on top of that? And I'll have to ask the big boss man about that, George, for you. So definitely, oh man, this is still calculating. I should just cancel this. Definitely come there, check it out, and Ronnie said he's thinking about it, but he's not ready. And Ronnie, you're definitely ready for it. But like I said, it's a kind of fun test. It's kind of following the same lines as the SolidWorks certification that they provide. So. Oh man. And the problem is if I cancel it, well here, let's just do this. Let me cancel that. We'll get those settings switched over here. All right, so we'll go to our settings here, and we'll go to our updated stock, special for HSR, HSM. And with those tests too, guys, if you guys want to, let's say you guys just have a seat at work and you guys want to take it at home, what we can do is we can supply you with a temporary key to be able to take that test at home, so you guys don't have to take it at work and do it in peace and quiet where you're not getting bugged, by other employees or management or anybody like that. So if that is the case, let me know and I can definitely send those over to you. I had a guy that actually wanted to take the test, the professional test, and he didn't actually have 3D eye machining, so we just sent him a temporary key and he figured he could get by without it. So he's going to go for it. He's going to learn how to use 3D eye machining in 30 days and take the test. Okay. Now we're getting there. So I'm going to go and play it through here. And like I said, just cleaning up those corners, getting nice blend lines in there. We did 5 passes in there. And just kind of cleaning up basically what was left over from the prior tool. And some spots might get hit more or less, just depending on what material was left over from that previous tool. Try to get you guys the best view here. Any questions so far with while this is playing through here? I'll actually show you guys this in Machine Sim from start to finish, and it's kind of cool to see that also. So now I have started keeping track of all the parts. I was kind of just doing these parts and kind of dumping them as I was going, but now I do have everything all backed up. So if you guys do want a part that I did work on in the night class, definitely let me know. Sooner the better, just because a lot of times we'll come back and revisit these parts and I'll come and modify them too. So if you guys do have, if you guys do want these parts, just shoot me an email and I can send them over to you. I will have to upload them to the cloud just because they are going to be too large to go through email. So what do I have my settings at? Yeah, see, I got everything showing every single step. Oh, here, that's why.
George's got a question about camera setup there for you.
Camera. I have a question. When are you going to put the camera gimbal to use and actually see you guys out on the machine? Coming soon, George. I got everything for it. Just trying to get through the this HSM, HSS, and the 5-axis series, and then we will be jumping on the machine for you guys and doing some. I'm hoping to do some cutting. It's actually, we're going to be using the company that I actually used to work at, one of their machines, and kind of get the ball rolling there. And everything is set up, George, so just got to get through the series here, and I think we're in, if I would guess, George, probably August sometime is when we'll be able to get in there and start doing some live cuts for you guys. And if we can't do live cuts there, what we'll do is we'll go to our office in Georgia and Ball Grounds, Georgia, and do live cuts there for you guys. So, see, how high up the ball will it follow the surface as an undercut? Ronnie, to answer your question, that's all based off the bitangency angle. but you know, technically with HSM, you really can't do undercuts. So we would want to do, if we actually did have an undercut, we would want to use HSS for that. But it's basically kind of going all based off of the, where are we at here? The bitangency angle. So if I wanted to use more of that angle of that ball, I could crank that up to, you know, 60%. Like I said, but with the HSS, I guess I don't have a part that actually is undercut, so I can't show that right now. But I'd assume if I crank that up to 60, and it's going to be kind of hit or miss with that lollipop cutter. But like I said, HSS, if you do have undercuts, guys, that's going to be the one that you want to use, just because that is technically the only operation that does support undercutting. So let's play this through here in simulation, and we'll do machine sim. And we'll just run this on the Haas machine. Now the cool thing is, the way I got this machine sim set up for this particular machine is basically the same machine we'll be running on when we do that that live cut there. So we got our, wait for everything to load up here. So we got our part here. Let's slow it down, play. So we're probing upper part. Getting her all roughed out here. Using that 3D machining. Now how many guys use the machine sim currently? Or does everybody have machine sim? Okay, awesome. Nice to see that, Jeff. And like I said, it's a little bit overkill for our 3-axis stuff here, but you know, it's sure nice to have when you got all the fixtures and tool holders and everything there. Let's see, what do I need to ask from the machine dealer? Clarence, all you have to do is just ask for machine models. Is all you have to ask for. And Clarence, what machines are you purchasing? Wait for a minute, right back here. It's hard to keep track of the questions on the chat and the questions on the regular side.
Yeah, a couple Maury's.
Okay. Yeah, Clarence, if you send those over to your account manager, we might, send them over to Tim, and what Tim can do is check with our post guys and see if we actually have those done already. If we don't, then you can get those models from your machine vendor.
The other thing too to add is there's also a machine sim module that would need to get added to your license as well. So there's there's a module that drives this, and then what the post guys do is put together the models that we get from the machine manufacturer to build the machine simulation like what Kevin's got here on his screen. So we can talk about that when you're getting a little closer on that, Clarence.
And Clarence, make sure you talk to your account manager and tell him you want the KevCAM discount too. So, okay, so you can kind of see how machine sim's chewing away at stuff here. With looks like we're still kind of getting through the regular the semi-finished phase right here. But I do have one other part I want to show you guys here before we finish up here. Let me just stop this for right now. Any questions, excuse me, with this particular part right here? Okay. Now this next one is a really large part. Everything's kind of shutting down here, so just give it a second. And okay, so I kind of think of this as a wagon wheel or a rim here. Fairly large part here. So like I said, I'll kind of show you what the pencil milling and the parallel pencil milling will do for you. So we'll just come in here. We'll just do our pencil to start with. And that's kind of a nice thing too. I mean, with all of our operations inside SolidCAM, a lot of the default operations in there, or I'm sorry, not the default operations, a lot of the default settings definitely do work very nice for you guys. So you guys don't have to do a lot of fine tweaking, but there are, like I said, with any 3D model out there, there's always a little bit of tweaking you might have to do. But a lot of this stuff you'll notice, I'm just coming in here, picking our pencil milling, grabbing our tool, and coming to our passes. This one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to contain it just to the internals of what's going on here. And basically that's it. We can just do a save and calculate here, and it's just going to kind of go along, find where that leftover material was left over from the prior tool, and just do that single line pass. I know it should kind of get into the little wagon spokes here. Do you see that question there, Tim, from Clarence?
I did, yes, Clarence. I don't know if you can get that answer when I send it back like that, but yeah, I did talk to Steve earlier today about that SolidWorks question, so I can forward you my email regarding that.
Like I said, this part is, well, the inner diameter here is, let's see where, I think the whole part right here is 2 foot by 2 foot.
And as that's calculating, Mary, I just want to say welcome. It looks like you're kind of new to these classes. You know, I'll send you a follow-up email as well with my contact information. I see Jennifer's been trying to reach out to you, but if there's anything I can do for you, just let me know.
Yeah, definitely. If, like I said, in all our classes, if there's something that you guys have questions on or concerns or anything like that, let us know right away. Okay, so now we got in here, just kind of, like I said, just doing that single line pass, kind of doing a one loop around the outside, kind of cleaning up the inner spokes right here, just doing that single line pass. Now, if we, like I said, if we wanted to kind of smooth out those areas, have real nice blend lines, getting everything kind of smoothed out, we can come in here and just switch it over to parallel. We'll go to our passes here, and we'll just do like a standard 10th step over, kind of get everything blended real nice right here, and we can save and calculate. And then it's, like I said, we'll add those additional passes in there to get everything kind of smoothed out for you guys. Like I said, I apologize for the calculation time with the pencil mill here. Trying to think of anything else we can talk about, Tim, about SolidCAM while this is calculating.
Well, I got something new coming up on my calendar here in the beginning of April. I'm going to be up in Huntsville for a Morris South open house. I know, Mary, that might be something, I don't know how far it is down to Huntsville for you, but something you might be interested in coming to see some live cutting and some things going on there at the at that open house. But just wanted to kind of mention that. I think that's a little bit far for you, Ronnie, but do you have a tool diameter offset, Greg was asking for? And
Greg, are you asking?
20, yeah.
Greg, are you asking for like cutter comp or?
Yep,
Yes,
it is cutter comp.
Okay. Depends on the HSM operation you're using. Now, usually when you're using a ball end mill, you know, cutter comp gets a little confusing just because we're going from the tip to the side to, you know, it depends on what radius it's cutting on. So usually, you know, cutter comp wouldn't be a factor when you're using the ball end mills, but some of the HSM, HSS, 3D milling does have well, I know 3D milling has the cutter comp option there, and some with the HSS, I can't remember if the parallel pencil milling does have it, but once this gets done calculating here, we'll definitely take a look. It's going to be in the actual offset page or the link. I can't remember where they stuff it if it's in here. But you guys will get a funny laugh out of this. So Sydney called me up, and he's been watching the night classes ever since they started. And he told me I have to hurry up and get a webcam because, you know, customers want to see your face, Kevin. I told him they don't want to see this ugly mug. So we'll get a webcam over for you guys, and we'll start off the presentation. You can with a proper introduction for you guys. So
there you go.
Okay, so we're calculated here, and like I said, basically doing the exact same thing as the pencil milling with a touch of 3D constant step over. So just kind of coming in here, cleaning up those areas, and like I said, basically adding 5 in the vertical, 5 in the horizontal, and then 1 single line down the center for that pencil mill. So let me see if we have cutter comp in here. I'm thinking with this one we don't have cutter comp options. Yeah, it would just be a small little checkbox for the cutter comp, but no, looks like we don't have it in here unless I'm missing something. But like I said, it's only certain operations that have it that can actually adjust the tool path, since it is, you know, like I said, if I go to the passes here on the Titanium scale, it all depends on, you know, how the cutter is being used along with that cutter comp. So for, you know, to answer your question, Greg, you know, if you guys do have a regrind or, you know, just need to cut a little bit smaller, you just have to come into your tool right here and just make that tool just a hair smaller and do that. Let's just post out a code real quick and just to see. Yeah, we're not calling any D values out right here, so that maybe they might have just added in there, but yep. So unfortunately, with the pencil milling, we don't have that option right now, and that's kind of more limited because the module works. But like I said, it's pretty tough when you have that ball, depending on, you know, when we're cutting down, you know, if we're down in here and kind of get zoomed in here, you know, we're using the very bottom tip right here, and as we kind of move along, we're moving along the side of that ball, and then over here we're basically using the full side of that cutter getting in there. So, but let's see. Okay, yeah, great point there, Jeff. Basically what Jeff's saying is you get no comp on toolpaths that have a Z changing unless the machine supports 3D comp. And like we were saying before, with HSS does support that. So, but yeah, thanks for adding that in there, Jeff. But any other questions or anything else that you guys would like to see with the pencil milling? Tonight I just had the 3 parts here, and like I said, I apologize because there seemed like every part that I kind of found that would work really well for you guys to show for pencil milling was all these huge parts here. But any questions or concerns or stuff that you guys would like to see? I got to move this chat out. So like I said, with everybody coming in there, it's kind of hard to see now. Okay, 60. Okay. Okay. Am I missing anything, guys? Kind of looking at both screens trying to figure out if anybody's answering or typing.
I'm not seeing any additional questions or anything there. So.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, appreciate the time coming in here. Hopefully, you guys are able to get some good information out of here. And I mean, to be honest, even myself, as I'm kind of going through this stuff, we've kind of gone through this whole list right now, and some of the stuff that it's like, you kind of get that little light that turns on, like, that would work good for this spot. But hopefully, you guys are getting definitely something out of it. Next week, we'll get into the 3D corner offset and prismatic part machining, and then get into the combined constant Z with horizontal and linear, 3D constant step over, and 3D corner offset. And then what I'm going to do, guys, is I want to kind of do a wrap-up session with the HSM series. Any questions that you guys have, I want, kind of do the stump the chump for the last HSM wrap-up. Tell me what you guys want to see, and we'll kind of do it right on the fly for you guys, and or find parts that have the toolpath that you're looking for in there. So definitely that will be coming up, and I know a lot of you guys like to stump the chump and make me worried. Dwayne Cole was saying my night classes look too easy, so I got to get stumped up every once in a while. So we'll definitely throw that in for you guys.
Hey, Kevin, I know there's been some talk there about, sponsors of the KevCAM thing, and is there anything going on with that as far as, partners and things like that you bring to the KevCAM class, or does that kind of?
No, I mean, we have a couple sponsors currently. Right now we have MCAD Cafe and Machines for Sale. I guess I really haven't pushed it much, trying to get out there and get more sponsors. But if you guys know of any company out there that would like to sponsor it, definitely let us know. I want to get this so it can benefit you guys in the same run too. So if we can get it'd be kind of cool to get a tooling manufacturer that would sponsor it, and then you guys can get some discounts on toolings for you guys. But
exactly, and kind of the idea with that is kind of cross-marketing and getting this KevCAM stuff on their websites, their information on our websites, and kind of tying the full solution through for customers, so you can access a lot of different information that's important for you guys. So
yeah. Yeah, and we're trying to, I'm trying to expand on. We started a Instagram page just last week. Just slowly getting some stuff on there. See if I go to here. So I just put this up on there today, saying that we're covering pencil milling, the certification here. This is kind of a cool certificate. I know a lot of you guys already have the software, but it's basically a certification of solutions guarantee. Saying that we're going to do everything in our power to get you. Tim, do you know more about this, I guess?
This is I haven't been working on with this too much. I know Sean and them were kind of
Okay.
putting this stuff together. I wasn't too involved in it, but
Basically
kind of.
guaranteeing kind of that you guys will get up and running with SolidCAM in any way possible. So it's kind of cool. But like I said, just trying to get into a little bit more of the marketing or the social media side of things.
So yeah, the social media stuff, Kevin's been doing quite a bit of stuff on. You can start seeing that in our email signatures where you've got LinkedIn and Google Plus and all that kind of stuff. Finding other ways to contact SolidCAM and linking things together. So
Yeah. So like I said, just kind of I'll bring the classes up in here. Like I said, we got that certification and stuff like that. And like Tim was saying, we got LinkedIn. So if you guys are into the social media side of things, definitely let us know. Contact ISCAR. You did a video using their ToAdvisor. Yeah, we should. George, definitely. What George is actually talking about here is I did this video right here. ISCAR is a integrated solution for the tool library. So if you guys use ISCAR cutters, it's really easy to use. Just you add it. You want to add a face mill, just pick the ISCAR drop down, go to their. It basically pulls up somewhat of a web page. You pick what cutter you want to use, and it automatically imports that tool into your tool library for you. So pretty cool. But like I said, guys, thanks again for joining us tonight. I know I'm kind of rambling on here, but any suggestions, ideas, send those over to me, and we'll get those added in there. And like I said, we'll be doing the live stuff coming up real soon. But you guys had tons of great ideas and suggestions that have been emailed to me, so I want to get those kind of covered first, and then we'll get into there. So definitely let me know what you guys want to see, any improvements, dislikes, stuff like that. Like Sydney said, they will get the webcam for getting a proper introduction coming up shortly. So, but like I said, let us know what we can do to help you out, and or shoot me an email if you guys run across any questions. So,
and Clarence, thanks for the feedback on that. We we enjoy having Kevin on our team here doing these classes. It's a great part of our team. So great job, Kevin.
All right, thanks. All right, guys, have a wonderful night, and look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye.